All right, you guys. ABC Crew discusses, debates, and gives our honest thoughts and reactions to the elephant in the room amongst two large platforms. Let's get straight into it, fellas. Yesterday, there was a video posted on BIL, and it was a 1v1 to 100. Okay. The rules were exactly the same as TNC's, like exactly the same. So TNC comments says nasty work, and BIL responds with y'all taking credit for what China started. Then they go back after this comment about 2 hours later. They then comment this. Yes, this video was 100% influenced from TNC. Frank doesn't watch YouTube basketball like that. Go easy. What I want to talk about today, or ask you guys, is did the 1v1 to 100 start in China the exact same way that TNC had presented it to the people?
From what I've seen, the China ones were, I remember seeing Slim and Moon playing one that was to 100 tag team, and then they switched at 50. So it's not the exact same thing. There's facts within that context. Like they were playing one-on-ones to 100 first, and it was a team aspect. But more than that, the only comment I have here is I feel like they contradicted themselves by saying it started in China, but then going back to comment and say that it was 100% influenced by TNC.
That's a good point.
I don't know if they would have given full credit off of rip, which is, I think, what people wanted based off reading the comment section. But after an influx of comments were made, then they gave credit, which, again, we understand. I think the whole community, and after reading all the comments, they were pretty much saying, hey, it's not the fact that you copied the idea, but more so that you were trying to make it your own. That's what I took from the comment section while reading through it. So that was the frustration.
Even if it did start in China, when was it introduced to YouTube? Is my thing, right? YouTube is it's its own entity, it's its own platform. When the masses of the YouTube basketball community first saw this concept, they saw it there. And the way the video was perceived was as if this was a totally brand new concept. And that's just not the truth. And the hypocrisy that I pointed out, if you're going to copy an idea verbatim and only give credit when you're pressured to do so, then why you copyrighted me and Sell? Why was there such pressure on us to provide a link in the description when you've been copying for years with no link to nobody? That's been my thing the whole time. It's not consistent. It's actually hypocrisy at the highest level. You copyright, not striking, but you copyright claiming all of our videos, but you copying ideas for years, gang. And that's a fact.
Yeah, and this is my take on it, where accountability comes in, because people, I've even heard them say, like, people take ideas all the time and make it their own, and I fully understand what they're saying on that. But I think the problem where the problem presents itself is when people take ideas and don't give the credit. Because for me, when I first started, I pretty much mimicked B. A. and Famous Los. But I always gave credit, and I made it my own. I threw my own tweak onto it, where it got to a point where B. had to actually tweet publicly and said, hey, yo, make sure like y'all leave Marcellus like alone. Like he has like my full, support in terms of what he's doing. I support everything he's doing. He's not copying me. And like letting that be known. I was like, damn, that was huge, because I didn't even ask him to do that. He did it randomly. I'm sitting there fighting for my life in these comments. I'm like, yo, I'm not copying. I gave credit to where it's due. I'm just putting my own twist onto it. I'm trying to be a new guy on the scene. And then even in 2022 with Devontae Friga, he had posted something on a story where he was talking about how he was the first creator to go to these high school games and vlog them, right? And I comment I commented back at him. This is back in 2022 of February. This is the actual verbatim text thread. I was like, correction. I went to about 3 high school games back in 2020 before COVID. And then he sent me a screenshot of a video that he posted 2 years ago, which was during the COVID time. And I sent him one back that was earlier before his. And I was like, I was the first one. Right. So we're going back and forth, just good banter. But his whole thing was verbatim. He said, but here's the problem. People see something and then start right away and don't make it their own. I posted that not thinking people would get mad because they don't know I'm not like an asshole and a dude like 6 of the larger creators. I mean, he said, but like, dude, 6 of the larger creators just came at my neck about him posting that he was the first to do so and not giving the credit that was expected or like the credit he deserved in terms of him saying. So
Yeah.
I think that's where the confusion is. I know I'm rambling on that, but yeah.
No, you made a valid point. Mills, you got anything to say? Because I want to say something again.
Go ahead, B.
And I just think too, even with Cell, for a long time, Cell thumbnails was my inspiration on my thumbnails. And if he called me and said, "Yo, B. Ellis, can you change up these thumbnails? It's too much like mine." You know what I would have to do? Change up the thumbnails because I'm looking at his and I'm like, man, them things tough. I'm gonna try to make mine like his. Another thing too, man, Cam Wilder is the AAU guy right now. That's a fact. He is the leader for AAU basketball. A lot of the other creators that are within AAU give Cam Wilder his credit. A lot of them, bro. So,
but this is where we have to give credit. We have to give credit to Drifty J because so now we're talking history, right? So
yeah,
Drifty, I could be wrong about this, but I vividly remember. I think Drifty started out the AAU tryouts because me and him did it together.
Okay.
Back in years ago, and then Cam came around. But I think Cam might have been. It was either Cam or Showtime might have been the first ones to sneak into an AAU game, and then Drifty did it, and then I think Drifty did the AAU tryouts for the coachings, and I think Cam did it. So I mean, like people take ideas and make it through all the time, but there was a little, elephant in the room between those two guys because they were also part of the same group at the time, Zone 6. So it was just a lot of stuff going on. But my thing is also too when it comes to content and using ideas. So like for B. Ellis, when I saw those thumbnails, I bro, honest truth, I was like, damn, I was like, this nigga is actually taking my thumbnails, right? But
and I can't. Hey,
I'm being honest, but in the time I was looking at, I was like, huh. I was like, you know what? I kind of like this. Now it's forcing me to be even better. It's competition. It's healthy competition because that's still my dog. But like at any point in time, I could have been like, hey, bro, like, come on, man. Like you taking my thumbnails. But I looked at it as I said, damn, my thumbnails is influencing someone else to, you know what I'm saying, work on their craft on their thumbnails. I said, bet. I gotta keep working on mine. And I just go back and forth. So now I look at his thumbnails, ironically, and I'm like, how can I make that better? So it's like it's just a healthy competition, but we acknowledge it though.
Yeah, facts.
You know,
it's at the forefront.
Where,
you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. If we gonna acknowledge, let's acknowledge. Don't try to hide from it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I think the reality of the situation too is that there's kind of a personal vendetta, and I don't even think I'm reaching there. I think it's like it's gotten so personal on both sides of really just a dislike to where it does make it a little bit more controversial.
I think they had every opportunity in this video to make it their own. Like they could have came at it at a very unique way. And I think they fumbled that one. Personally.
Yeah, it's complete pettiness. No way around it. You knew exactly what you was doing when you decided to do that. You saw Latin Davis go for 85. You saw Vern go for 52. You saw guys go crazy. You saw Bruce do his thing in those 101s to 100. You saw them go viral. It's complete. Well, you know what? They do it, so we're gonna do it too. And you understand? I feel like, bro, we're all grown ass men, bro. They understand what's the word I'm looking for? The tension during the time of making that series, and to verbatim do that and copy it to the T and not even add you on to, like, let's say he did a 1-on-1 to 100 and it's 10 points. And then all players play and then they come back in and play. That's your own twist. That's your own. But to do it this exact same way, that's blatant. It has to be called out, bro.
Yeah. I think even another example of people using the template, the blueprint in front of them is Jeff Bowie. He's him and Jester work together. A lot of his videos look identical to Jester's, but he signed a bucket squad, so it makes perfect sense. Jester's probably giving him the game, like, hey, this is how you do it, yada yada. And Jeff now has over like 5+ million subs. Taking the exact, bro. No cap.
Jeff going crazy like that,
bro. No, it might be like 8 million. It might
bro,
be
the last time I saw Jeff, he was at like 300K.
Bro, let me see. Jeffrey Bowie is at 9.13 million subscribers. Under the bucket squad branch, though, there's a respect given between the two guys.
Yeah,
it's not like
they're working harmoniously together.
Oh, absolutely. Like he's part of the brand.
Yeah, and this community has gotten very divisive, very divisive.
Absolutely,
unfortunately.
But even the AAU, I'm not the AAU, the Park Takeover days, fellas. I mean, Chris White was collabing with Freak and giving Freak his credit. I know Dayton, him and Nick Briz had their situations, but they were teamed up. You know what I'm saying? Also, even Cam Wilder. I remember there was a point in Cam Wilder, he did a live stream and he verbatim said, we started doing Park Takeovers. You know why? Devontae Friga. I could literally pull up the clip and send it to y'all to throw in this video. It's on 1v1 Hoops right now. So it's just, bro, you can't be a hypocrite and expect, and I'm not even going to put cell name in this. You can't expect me to put a link in the description, something that minuscule, but you're taking ideas, man, and not providing no type of credit until the public forced you to. No, man, that's hypocrisy.
Yeah, I think the basis of this conversation, from what I'm understanding or where I'm getting from it, is we just accountability side, like accountability for all platforms. Like if you're gonna use an idea, if I use an idea, I make sure I give the credit to that person I use it from. Just because you know what I'm saying, I want them to feel seen. I want them to be like, you know what, I see what you're doing, I respect it. Now I'm gonna put my own twist onto it. So like if I do a shoe review, I give shout out to Kick Genius or Jay Jones. Like you know what I'm saying, I'm showing respect. And I think that's just what the community is lacking, aside from BIL and TNC, just in general. I think people are lacking that respect of, let me go ahead and show respect to those who I got the idea from, and just to show love. You know what I mean? So that's where that's where my gripe is. I just can't imagine taking an idea from 8 million BLs and not giving respect on however severe it is, whether it's a YouTube thing, a merchandise thing, you know what I'm saying, anything. So yeah, that's just my thing.
I do think that's where the dislike comes into play, though. You don't want to. If I take your ideas, though, and I'm not even just in general, this is a general statement. If I take your ideas, though, and I don't like you, I'm not gonna really even mention your name.
That's true too. Yeah, that makes it.
Or I would be more hesitant to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the state of the community. That is the reality of the basketball community in its current moment. Is it's very divisive, and there is dislike behind closed doors and history in a lot of different ways. So that's just where we're at. I don't know if we'll ever get to working all in one. I cannot picture it based on the history, but that would be the best case scenario probably for this community, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
And not even that, because some people are going to be like, well, it's just basketball. There's only so much things you could do with basketball. Fellas, Street Stars goes on tour. They're going to 15 ones and twos, 3 dribbles. It's a lot of ways you could variate the game of basketball to make it your own. It's a creative game. It's art. You can be very innovative with the game of basketball, even when it's very, very competitive. You can find ways to differentiate yourself from another entity. It's not that hard.
OTD did it recently. Like, even if they go to 32s and 3s, that doesn't matter to me. I even said in one of my reaction videos, I said, wow, they actually implemented a halftime interview with the headset and everything. I said, that's kind of fire. I said, that's fire. Because it's kind of like, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of dope. Like they're actually having a full interview halftime of the game. That's of a 1v1 game like that. That right there, I think when Dable implemented that,
Nah, that was
great
cool.
idea.
That was cool for sure.
Great idea.
Bro.
Yeah, but even if you, I mean, not to be too long-winded, but you talk about sneaker businesses, like they don't like each other, of course. So that's going to be, you're going to take ideas with malicious intent and be like, nah, I'm gonna make this better. I get that. But even with June's league, like there's so many things that you could pull from different.
Think about it, Sel. Every entity within our community has done different things. June's League is not like nobody else in this community. Yeah. Terry Hosley is not like nobody else in this community. Street Stars is not like nobody else in this community.
So there's nothing you think that BIL has done in this space organically that's theirs?
No.
I'm trying to think. They didn't do the fives?
Create All Stars when I went over there. I would say that. I would say yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, fives. The KOTCs?
No. Frigga did a game series with Cam So Smooth, John and Sydney. Flew them in, all three hoopers playing against Frigga, playing against each other for a cash prize. No.
But I'm saying those are separate videos though, right? So then they would technically put their own twist. And did the KOTC? I mean, KOTC has been a thing since the backyard days, but I'm saying they maybe took that idea and I don't know. I'm not too well versed on that specific, but I remember them doing the KOTC. I know Frigga did the fly in play, like what, 4 matchups or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's similar. I see what you're saying.
And you do it 2 months later.
I see what you say. Okay, okay. So now, so the timeline. I get what you're saying. That makes sense.
You're literally waiting until the next hot idea becomes hot, and then you're saying, okay, I'm going to do it the same way. Outside of Ballers that created All Stars when it was all 5v5s. Nothing original.
Yeah, I didn't even. That's a good point. Wow.
Who have they developed in the 1v1 space? I don't want to get into this.
I was really thinking. I'm like, I think Nitty.
Nitty was Nitty before they even met him.
Oh yeah, he was 3-time. Yeah, you're right. 3-time Drew League.
Who they developed from scratch, similar to where Cam So Smooth came up. Who? In the 1v1 space.
Trey Croft.
Great pool.
Because Trey Croft played Clamp God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Trey Croft.
Ray John.
I said his name in the video that I posted.
Yeah,
Trey Croft.
Ray John.
I miss Trey Croft. Trey Croft is a great pool. Accountability. I'm gonna make sure I'll let you know when I'm wrong. Trey Croft, a great pool.
Trey Croft, Ray John,
Dom's
more OTD.
OTD.
Yeah, he's more off the dribble. Like when they collab, he was on that platform.
Right.
Anything more? But like, cause they would technically be OTD. You would be OTD. I'm trying to think.
You need me to tell me the names of other people?
That's a good point, man. I would really have to like actually go do some intensive research on that. That's actually a great
Mike Harden, where he came from.
Shit, that's Lafayette.
Hoodie Kell, where his development was at. Damn. Nazir Core, where he developed at.
Damn.
Cam So Smooth, where he developed that. Scar, where he developed that. Fambi, where he developed that. J. Lou, where he developed that.
Shit. Okay. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. My damn mouse. No B, don't say a damn thing. Don't say a damn thing.
Jags in 4.